Welcome to Dixboro. My name is Taylor. I'm going to take you on your tour of Dixboro today. I'm sure you're thinking, where's the rest of Dixboro? And actually you're wrong. This is all of Dixboro. So our tour is going to be about 10 minutes. We're not going to do much walking. We're going to stay in this area, and I'm going to point out some of the features I want you to know. Just because it's kind of an overcast day, and I'd hate for it to start raining if we were like way far away from our cars. A few rules to keep going on that. Please don't litter. That's just nice. Don't do that. We want to leave this nice place where we are. If you're going to walk away from me, try to stay within arm's reach just so you can hear me talk. I talk fast, but I don't talk that loud. I'd hate for you to miss something. If you do have a question, let me know, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my abilities. Otherwise, let's get started. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to talk about today too, before I get really into it. So we're going to talk about the history of the area, and what makes this place unique and why we should preserve it. Kind of this village green square, like why is there so much green stuff? Why don't they have businesses here? And then I'm going to finish about this lovely road and kind of how we could do good things to keep it the way it is, and what might happen if we widen the road, and why we might want to do that. So to start out with, again, this is Dixboro. It was founded in 1824 by Captain Dix, hence the name Dixboro. It's never actually been its own town. It's never been incorporated. Technically, it's still Ann Arbor, but it has its own post office for a few years. It does not anymore, though. Most of the activities in the community happen in the church or in this one-room school building. Right now, you can kind of see through the window. I don't know if you can. They have some green vests for when they pick up trash in the area. Going off that, Dixboro is kind of a unique location because it could have been the size of Ann Arbor. Articles and information based on research that I've done when I was researching the church said that at one point the railroad was going to come through here in Dixboro instead of Ann Arbor, and they calculated that about the time Ann Arbor and Dixboro were the same size. If the railroad had gone through here and not bypassed it, it might have been larger, the size of Ann Arbor or the size of Ypsilanti. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Maybe that's a little bit more fortunately, because I like to think that the small size of this place is what makes it important and what makes it unique and interesting. Speaking of that kind of history, Captain Dix, when he laid out the thing, he laid out a very important plan for this village green. So this village green is on my left, your right. So you can see it's just kind of this big open space. That was the point. He laid out 64 acres that would have a school and a church on it. As you can see, there is the schoolhouse. While it is no longer functional, it is still, there are adults that went to school here in their one-room schoolhouse that work hard to keep it the way it is. And the church, which has expanded a few times since its inception. This village green is interesting because it kind of shows the values of the community. The community works hard to keep this community space open. They very well could expand and put houses here or businesses, but they don't. This village green space, they have farmers markets. I've seen deer just hanging out here in the middle of town because it's not that popular. I've seen children playing on the playground. It's what makes this important to them is that they keep this green space. Like I said, they have these vests in there. They come through and they clean off the highway or this Plymouth Road, and in the ditches and all the way back to, they have a park in the corner all the way back on the left. It's called Brandon's Park. From two parents that had passed away, they had this undying love, as the thing says. It's a very cute little rock from their dedication from 1994 that said, our family, our parents loved this area. They loved Dixboro, they loved Dixboro Church, and they loved us kids, and they wanted to give their parents a memorial in a space that they knew they would love. And that kind of shows the community in the area. It works hard to keep that the way it is. Moving on to kind of this village green and what's around us. So you can see on the road, there's this main road into town, Plymouth Road. On the other side, that house-looking thing is actually the Dixboro General Store. It kind of has like a Cracker Barrel-esque old-time store to it, only a little bit more authentic. And then we have, again, this one-room schoolhouse. They've talked about moving it a few times, but they don't want to move it from its original space because this site, this location on the village green is really important. Again, this is also the space where they have their farmers market in the summertime. And then off to this is the church. This is where all of their parking is in town. If you want to do parking in the area and you want to go to the general store, park at the church. And then again to the left is this really cute little park called Brandon's Park. And again, last time I came here about 1.5 years ago, I want to say, I was researching the church, and I parked over in the back behind the church. I looked out, and there were 2 deer in the middle of the park just standing next to this rock right next to the road. And it's almost like a backyard. It's not very big. And I was just surprised. Like, yes, you see deer on the side of the road all over the place, but what's the chance, like, in this such a small children's, where it's normally loud, there are deer just hanging out. And when I talked to the pastor, who at the time was doing Tai Chi in their community center situation in the church, she said they see them all the time just hanging out all over the village green, which kind of shows more of this small town feel. You know, the deer don't feel like they have to run away, they just hang out and play too. So moving on a little bit to this road, I kind of already talked about it. So I don't know if which way you guys came in. I came in from Ann Arbor, Plymouth Road, off of, what is that, 23? And I was going to come in this way from Ford Road, but I decided, maybe I'll take from 23. It goes from 4 lanes down to 2 pretty quick. They put in a stoplight to help with this, but here's the problem. I don't know, everyone knows traffic around from 4 to 6 just really stinks in Ann Arbor. And people use this to cut through all the time, but when it goes from 4 roads to 2 roads, it gets really backed up right here. People speed even though it's not supposed to be very fast. No one listens to the speed limit. And they've talked about widening the road to 4 lanes because that would make it easier on traffic. But here's my problem with that, and the entire community's problem with that. If they widen the road, as you can see, they'd have to take, the general store sits on the road. They couldn't take anything from that side unless they move the general store and all of these buildings. And that general store's been there for a very long time. If they took from this side, they'd take from the village green. That really important land that Captain Dix from the beginning said he wanted to have a church and a school for the community. If they took that road, it would cut out, I would probably say up to the front of this tree, like where that tree is kind of. So all this playground space, all the way through a bunch of people's yards, that's, to me, not acceptable. It's not fair to the community because they rely so heavily on this space. Farmers markets make not only just the community come together, but some money. People in the area need that. At the same time, how would widening the road green up the place, make it prettier in that sense? A green space like this village green, this English style area, is unusual. It's something that most places don't have anymore, especially considering they don't really have much of a town square. This is where they meet. I could imagine, what is it, winter parades over here. When you have Girl Scouts, this is where you meet. Why would you want to change that? Widening the road would make it more busy. Traffic would increase. And would you want your kids playing, right next to the road in the village green? How would that be safe? Dixboro is a unique and interesting and small place, and that small size of it is what makes it important to me. Dixboro's motto is "Lest we forget," and I think that further reiterates that we don't want to forget this small area, what this means to people. It's not fair, and it's not, people can wait. Why? Lest we forget that some days, what happened to, taking a Sunday stroll down the causeway, or, going for a Sunday drive after church, or even, getting out of class and just seeing what happens. People have had 0 problems with waiting up till now. Traffic happens, we're always going to have traffic. Widening 4 roads isn't going to make it helpful, it's just going to make it dangerous in that sense, and it's going to ruin the ambiance of this town. So I'm urging everyone to keep a lookout on your voting ballots for when they vote. Every once in a while it comes up to vote, or you'll hear about people talking about widening this road, but think about what that means for this small area, and not what it could mean to you and your commute to work, because this affects more than just people who drive, but the community that lives in. Thank you.